What's up, eighth grade? How's it going,
Hello.
guys? We miss you. And guess what? We are super bummed about Concert Festival. Ugh, you guys were going to be awesome. It was going to be so good. We were looking forward to it. And then I still hear Night Song in my dreams. It's such a good piece. Anyways, we just wanted to walk you through some things for this upcoming week and let you know what we would like for you to do between Wednesday and Friday, just to kind of get yourself going again on your instrument and get it out of the case, undust it a little bit, wink, wink, and make sure that we know how to play our instruments again so that we can start getting ready for high school band. So we're going to walk you through some things that we would like for you to take a look at. So I'll start with the wind section, just getting back to basics, just the basic things that we do. You want to make sure you're starting with some quality breathing exercises. Just get the air flowing through the body. And I can walk you through some of those in a later video if you don't remember, but you can always look up the breathing gym and see some videos on YouTube. YouTube is a great resource for you guys to use for things like that. But after you do the breathing, please make sure you do a warm-up. You want to make sure you're going through all of your fundamental stuff before you start playing literature or sight reading or even scales. We want you to back up and do things like long tones, just start getting acclimated to playing with a nice, pretty sound. Know what you want to sound like first, and we'll get into that in a minute. But we want to make sure you're going through those long tones and those lip slur studies. Go through the same kind of warm-up that we would do in class every day, starting with the basics in the Blue Book and going through those warm-up sets. And really want you to take a look at warm-up set 3. It hasn't been pretty lately. Woodwinds. Bum, 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 bum. We need to make sure we're working on all those keys and all those scales, okay, guys? So if you guys can start looking at that and go through that entire warm-up process every single day before you begin other things on your instrument, that would be really, really cool. And like I said a while ago, we want to make sure you know what you want to sound like before you play your instrument. Don't just put your instrument up to your mouth and start playing. Really think about, what do I sound like and what do I want to sound like? And there's some great resources out there, and we'll send you some in a couple of weeks. But you guys can get on YouTube and type in professional flute player or professional tuba player or professional bass drummer. You'll even get something that you surprisingly wouldn't think you'd get something, but you'll get some miraculous people who just are outstanding on their instruments and gives you a great model. So we'll be happy to share some of those resources with you later, but we'll want you guys to do some research and see what you find and see who you like so you know what you want to sound like before you continue to play. So getting beyond just fundamentals and things like that, we're starting to get ready for this marching band audition. And I know everything got kind of derailed because of this whole thing with Concert Festival, and I'm not sure if we're going to have a spring concert or not. It's up to if we ever get back to school or not, hoping that we do, and we've got plans for it, so don't worry. But we're really thinking about that high school marching band audition. We want to make sure you're ready for that. So the big things we want to make sure you're ready for are the scales, okay? All of your scales need to be memorized. And we want to make sure that when we're working on these scales, work on them slowly first. In class, we've been taking them around 110, 120, sometimes 128. We want to start pushing those to 130, 140 range, okay? A little bit faster tempo. But if you don't feel comfortable with the scale, take it at 80. Take it at 60 if you have to. Make sure you're playing the right notes in the key signature.
A lot of you guys make minor scales when it's supposed to be major because you're not reading the key signature.
Yes.
Yes.
Make sure you read everything in that key signature. And you go through it and make sure every note's right. And remember, you're auditioning up against high schoolers. They're going to be playing 2 octaves on all these scales, 3 octaves on some scales. So you need to start expanding that range as much as you can and try to get as many octaves that sound really, really great on those scales. What a great time to do that with an unfortunate circumstance. You have time to sit in your room and work on these scales and start really building that range up, okay? So take that advantage and go for it, okay? The scales that we need you to do are B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. Those are all the flat scales, concert pitch. We haven't visited D flat in quite a while, or ever. I don't remember if we did or not, but I know G flat we did a test on quite a while ago. So those 2 scales are ones you want to make sure you're really reviewing. Then on the other side, we've got F, C, G, and D. And we haven't covered D major yet in class. We've done a little bit of some G major, so make sure you guys are looking at these new scales. They're all in your Blue Book, and if you don't have the Blue Book, we have a way we can get some copies to you. Just let one of us know. We want to make sure you have access to all of these scales, full range, as many octaves as you can. Another scale you need to be looking at is the chromatic scale. We haven't touched that one in a while, but the chromatic scale needs to be from your absolute lowest note that you feel comfortable playing and sounds really, really good to the highest note that sounds really, really good, covering a full range. And you have fingering charts in your book if you need to reference those, and you need to take it at whatever tempo that you can play it cleanly. Don't go in there and go, and it doesn't, it can't be recognizable. So make sure you're hearing every note as you go up and you're practicing every note slowly at first, increasing the tempo as you go on, okay? So all 9 of those scales plus chromatic are gonna be memorized. You also are gonna get a sheet from us in the next couple of days, and it's called the Berryman Rhythm Pattern. You're gonna need to do that, and I will send a video out and walk you through. I will play it with you so you can play along with us. And you can see how it all works, but you will need to play that as well. It will not have to be memorized. And then other than that, that's all we have for you now with the playing portion of the marching audition. Now, some things we want you to think about for the marching portion of the marching audition. We will also be helping you by sending some videos out, but we're going to ask that you work on forward marching. We really talked about that straight leg technique, digging through, getting the toe up, heel on the ground, and backward marching we started talking about the past couple of rehearsals. I know it's a little awkward still for some of us, so that's something that we want to make sure we're working on out in the driveway or in the yard or up and down the hallway over and over again. Wherever you can do it, where you're quarantined and safe, then we need to work on that, okay? You also need to start thinking about your lower body. I know you can't really see, but turning your lower body, but keeping your upper body facing the same way so that your feet would be going this way while your body's facing this way. We call that a slide, and going forward and backward in those slide positions with your instrument and making sure that you're able to play while moving, okay? But all of this needs to be done with a metronome and a tuner, okay? If you don't have one, you can download one on your phone or on the computer. There's so many resources out there. You can literally type in freemetronome.org and you'll get a metronome. Who knew? Okay, so use those free resources and get after it, guys. I think that's all the stuff we have playing. Am I forgetting anything playing wise?
For percussion, I'll be giving you more information for the auditions. You're going to have to be able to play for battery instruments, marking time, the 16th note timing, triplet timing, and then we'll also do 16th note gridding and triplet gridding. I'll be sending out videos for that. You'll need to be able to mark time while you're doing that. And that's for all instruments, bass drum, snare drum, and tenors. And I'll also be handing out some exercises to you that we'll be using in the fall that you'll audition on your instrument. So start thinking about what instrument you want to audition for. If you want to audition for multiple instruments, that's totally fine. I know some of you are interested in that. For front ensemble, you need to be totally comfortable with all your scales. And we'll start talking about minor scales, things like that. You need to know your arpeggios. And you also need to be competent in holding 4 mallets. And we've talked about holding 4 mallets, but now's a great time. And I'll send out some exercises for you to work on some of those techniques and breaking them down again so you're comfortable. And you don't need an instrument. You can grab your mallets and you can just work on the ground, watch TV, and you can sit there and play on the ground or on a pillow, even better. So if you don't want to annoy your parents or your brothers or sisters or your neighbors or whatever, or your dog, you can go ahead and just play that on a pillow. That works really, really well. But I'll be sending out more information very, very soon for that so we can get started. I know a lot of us don't have a tenor practice pad or things like that, but you need to at least have your practice pad at home so you can practice those things. With mallets, you all should have your marimba mallets that I required you to purchase. If not, then now's a good time to get them so you can practice that stuff on the ground. You can also make a keyboard cutout. I've seen people do this of cardboard. You can make a cardboard cutout and you can put duct tape where the note should be, and you can practice your scales on the cardboard. So there's always options that you can have at your disposal to work on things. I'll be sending out some more things for both instruments, some exercises as well for front ensemble, so we can start taking a look at those and get the ball rolling there along with recordings, things like that. But that's it for percussion.
Thank you, Mr. Burgess.
Yeah. Welcome.
Also, we'll let you guys know, we're going to be sending out a list on our band website and multiple places like the band app. and we're going to have a set of resources for you guys to access music. If you want to download some free music, or if you want to do some sight reading on Sight Reading Factory, we're going to have a list of websites that you guys can go where you can absolutely free do some things and play some more stuff on your instruments. We encourage you guys to sight read music and work stuff up, play it for your family, give little concerts, send a video to grandma, grandpa, or Uncle Betsy. I don't care. But Uncle Betsy, yeah, you like that? That's what I think my cow, Uncle Betsy. But yeah, seriously, send out some videos and work on some of this stuff and have some fun playing music. Music heals the soul, and it should make you feel better. So just get your instrument out and play some stuff, whatever you're feeling. Okay, but we just want you to play every day. Okay. Lastly, before we leave, we want to let you guys know we're all healthy, but just in case, we always have a bottle of hand sanitizer. We're going to teach you in case you never learned this in grade school.
I don't think this cures me of my gingerness, though. It's still a ginger, but
Palms
okay.
first, like when you're washing your hands, in between. Back sides of your hands too.
20 seconds is a good amount of time.
Underneath the nails.
You can go longer if you want to.
Yeah, rub it in. At the wrists.
And if you forgot deodorant. Awesome. We miss you guys. Hope to see you soon.
Be safe.